What if I told you that the true source of our suffering, our doubts, and our failures isn't out there, but within ourselves? The mind can be our fiercest ally or our greatest enemy. In a world where every moment demands our attention, where every disappointment feels like a personal affront, we often fail to realize how much power we willingly hand over to our own self-destructive habits. The ancient Stoics understood this. They knew that without conquering the mind, we are vulnerable to the very storms we're trying to escape. Today, we'll explore 5 habits that keep us mentally weak. Habits that, if left unchecked, will drain us of our inner strength. But I'll also show you how to uproot each one using the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. If you're ready to start this journey toward unshakable mental strength, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because on this channel, we don't shy away from the hard truths. Here, we dig deep, and we're just getting started. Now, let's dive in. The habit of seeking approval from others. The second habit that weakens us mentally is the need for approval. This yearning for validation from others drains us of our strength, for we base our worth on the ever-changing opinions of those around us. In the words of Seneca, the man who relies on the opinions of others to be happy is a slave. Stoicism teaches us that freedom lies in being complete within oneself, immune to the approval or disapproval of others. When we constantly seek validation, we hand over our inner peace to the fickle, unpredictable thoughts of others. This is not strength, it is surrender. Consider how often we look to others for confirmation of our worth, whether through social media, work, or friendships. A single compliment can make our day, while a minor criticism can ruin it. We become puppets, controlled by the strings of others' opinions. This behavior is deeply ingrained, partly because society reinforces it. We are conditioned to believe that worth is something to be earned externally, rather than something intrinsic. But the Stoics held a different view. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. It is a paradox we must escape to build true mental resilience." Imagine the freedom that comes with not needing approval from anyone. When we rely solely on our own judgment, we become unbreakable. The Stoics remind us that we are in control of only our own actions, thoughts, and values. Everything else is beyond our grasp and should not dictate our happiness. By depending on others for validation, we allow them to define our worth, and in doing so, we diminish our own strength. Instead of seeking approval, we should seek self-respect, a respect that arises from knowing we are aligned with our own principles, not bending to fit others' expectations. Breaking free from this habit is a journey, but a necessary one. Start by recognizing the moments when you feel the need for validation. Question it. Why should others' opinions determine your self-worth? Each time you resist this urge, you reclaim a part of your strength. By practicing this consistently, you will begin to feel an unparalleled sense of freedom and resilience. This is the Stoic way, a life anchored not in the fragile opinions of others, but in the unwavering strength of one's own values. Fearing failure and avoiding risks. The third habit that keeps us mentally weak is the fear of failure. This fear binds us, chaining us to comfort zones and limiting our potential. In Stoicism, failure is not something to avoid, but something to embrace and learn from. Seneca advises us, "He who is brave is free." True bravery is the willingness to step into the unknown, to accept failure as part of growth. When we fear failure, we refuse to take risks, and in doing so, we deny ourselves the opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. How often do we avoid challenges because we fear the possibility of failing? We settle for mediocrity, for comfort, thinking it will protect us from disappointment. But in reality, This comfort only weakens us further. The Stoics saw adversity as a necessary part of life, a forge that tempers our resilience. Epictetus reminds us, difficulties are things that show a person what they are. Each challenge we face reveals something about ourselves, something that can only be learned through struggle. To avoid this is to stunt our growth and weaken our resolve. Stoicism teaches that fear is often a product of our imagination, an illusion we create to protect ourselves from discomfort. But this illusion is a trap. When we embrace discomfort, when we willingly face failure, we begin to realize that it is not nearly as terrifying as we once thought. The more we push ourselves beyond our limits, the more resilient we become. True mental strength is built through these experiences, through facing adversity and emerging stronger. So, let us stop avoiding risks. Let us seek out challenges and learn to view failure as a stepping stone, not an endpoint. By shifting our perspective on failure, we cultivate an unbreakable mindset. Each time we face our fears, we weaken the habit of avoidance and strengthen our inner resilience. This is the Stoic approach, a life of courage, where failure is not feared but embraced, where risks are not avoided but sought after for the lessons they bring. Succumbing to negative emotions. The fourth habit that drains our mental strength is surrendering to negative emotions. Anger, envy, resentment, these emotions consume us, distorting our judgment and leading us away from peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Stoicism teaches that indulging in negativity weakens us, while choosing calm and self-control fortifies us. When we allow negative emotions to rule us, we give up our freedom and our clarity. Negative emotions are powerful, but they are also fleeting. They rise like storms, intense and blinding, but temporary. To be a Stoic is to recognize these emotions without becoming enslaved by them. The Stoics practiced something called apatheia, a state of being unaffected by destructive emotions. This is not to deny feelings, but to master them. By observing our emotions, by understanding their roots, we can choose how we respond. Instead of reacting with anger or jealousy, we can cultivate patience and understanding. This response requires immense strength, but it is the path to true mental resilience. Imagine living a life where anger does not control you, where jealousy does not consume you. When we master our emotions, we regain control over ourselves. We become like a calm sea, unshaken by the waves that try to disturb us. This is what Stoicism offers, a way to transform negative emotions into opportunities for growth. By practicing self-control, by refusing to let negativity dictate our actions, we cultivate a sense of inner peace that is unbreakable. Resisting negative emotions is a lifelong practice, but each time we succeed, we strengthen our resilience. The more we practice, the easier it becomes. Eventually, we reach a point where negativity no longer has a hold on us. We become immune to the petty disturbances that once shook us. This is the goal of Stoicism, a mind free from the chains of negativity, a life rooted in calm, unshaken by the storms of emotion. The habit of overthinking and self-doubt. The fifth and final habit that weakens us is overthinking. This constant questioning, this endless cycle of self-doubt, consumes our mental energy, leaving us exhausted and uncertain. Epictetus warned against this tendency, saying, "Do not seek to predict the future, for the unknown is beyond your control." Overthinking drains us, robbing us of our ability to act with clarity and confidence. The Stoics teach that to be mentally strong, we must learn to trust ourselves, to act without hesitation, to move forward without looking back. Overthinking is often born of fear, fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of judgment. We become trapped in our minds, replaying scenarios, second-guessing decisions. This habit keeps us from living fully, from seizing opportunities, from embracing life as it is. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control, to let go of what we cannot change. Marcus Aurelius advises us, do not waste the remainder of your life in thoughts about others. Instead of overthinking, we must learn to act decisively, to trust in our own judgment. Imagine the freedom that comes with a mind unburdened by endless analysis. When we stop overthinking, we regain control over our mental energy. We become more present, more engaged, more alive. This is the Stoic way, a life where action replaces hesitation, where clarity replaces doubt, where peace replaces anxiety. To break the habit of overthinking, we must practice focusing on the present moment. We must remind ourselves that the future is beyond our control, that all we can influence is the here and now. With each step we take, we weaken the grip of self-doubt, strengthening our resolve. This is the essence of Stoic resilience, a mind unclouded by worry, a heart undeterred by uncertainty, a life lived fully with strength and purpose.